All right, let's bring you developing news now and take you to the High Court in Pretoria. That's where the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial has resumed today. Newzroom Afrika's Mnisi, as always, keeping a watchful eye on those developments. He joins us live now from outside court. And, of course, Linda, we know we're on a bit of a break now until 2 o'clock. Tell us what took place in the beginning stages of today's sitting.
Well, Michelle, you'll remember that the state had indicated that it was ready to start with the cross-examination of Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, who's a ballistics expert that testified some 8 months ago in August last year. And after several postponements, the defense still says that they are not ready with his cross-examination because there are funding issues. They've decided to make an application to the Legal Aid Board to fund the services of the ballistics expert, and then after that they'll be able to start with their cross-examination. But it seems as though they have not received a response from the Legal Aid Board in terms of that particular application. Some money has been paid to that particular expert, but the remaining funds are not available, so that is why they've then decided to go to the Legal Aid Board to make an application that the legal aid pays the rest of that money. You'll remember, Michelle, in this case that the defense at least accused 2 to 5 are being paid, or their lawyers are being paid by legal aid. So as part at least of that particular plan, they've decided to approach legal aid. But essentially the state had to then proceed with other witnesses, recalling, you'll remember, state witness warrant officer Vusumuzi Mokhane. This is the officer who arrested accused number 2, Bongani Ndanzi, on the 16th of June in 2020. And he says that in August, on the 19th of August 2020, they were conducting investigations in Mpangeni, that's in KwaZulu-Natal, when they received a phone call from a senior officer in Kalagabusha prison. This officer informed them that they had recovered a cell phone from accused number 5, that's Fisoguhle Nduli, who's represented by advocate Zandile Mshololo. That phone then was then later put into an exhibit bag and later given to Colonel Steyn. You'll remember Colonel Steyn is a data analyst who's testified in the court before, and essentially testifying about the process and the handling of that particular cell phone. During cross-examination, advocate Zandile Mshololo asking him about the handling of that particular cell phone, but then putting to him that their version is that because he did not put in or write down key information, then it means that there was no cell phone that was handed over to him. Things like serial numbers he did not write down. Michelle did not write down other important information regarding this cell phone. He did say that there are entries that were made in terms of this cell phone, but things like the serial number of this particular cell phone were not written down. And advocate Zandile Mshololo is saying that the reason why all of this did not happen is because there was no cell phone. He also goes on to testify about a cell phone that was recovered in February, on the 8th of February 2021. This is a phone that was recovered allegedly from accused number 2, that's Bongani Ndanzi, at the Valeria police station, and similar questions being put to him in terms of the handling of that particular cell phone. And then the lawyer for accused number 2, Siparamo Sepile, putting it to the witness that in fact there was no such cell phone that was recovered. In fact, his version is that the cell phone was taken at his place of residence. There was no cell phone that was recovered at Valeria police station. So at this particular moment, that is the evidence that is being ventilated in court. Advocate Zandile Mshololo, after the break, Michelle, will have just a single question, a clarity-seeking question, as cross-examination as well as re-examination has been concluded.
So, Linda, massive issues, right? And they seem to be basic procedural issues. For example, when you take a cell phone into evidence, the serial number, I believe the other number is the IMEI number. So none of that was taken down.
Yeah. Yes, in fact, Warrant Officer Mokhane says his job or his responsibility in handling these cell phones was just to take the cell phones, put them in an exhibit bag, and then take them to Colonel Steyn for downloading as well as analysis. So essentially what the defense is then saying is that this is an officer who has about 15 years experience, and because he's a detective, he would know the importance of handling these handsets, and that they ensure record keeping in order, of course, to be able to ventilate these issues properly in court. There shouldn't be any doubt that this handset belongs to accused number 5 because of the manner in which it was handled. If there is no record keeping, then it suggests, in other words, or the inference that can be drawn is that this cell phone could have been changed at any point, because there is no record keeping in terms of how it was handled from the moment that it was received by him to the moment that it was taken to the downloaders of cell phone data rather.